What's up, everybody? It's your boy Banky101 coming at you today with a thumbnail tutorial. So I've been getting asked over the past couple of weeks and like, Banky, how do you make your thumbnails? So I'm going to give you guys a really quick tutorial on how I create them. So basically I use Photoshop. I know it's an expensive tool, but if you want to make thumbnails, then you got to go with some sort of tool. You can or cannot maybe find a way to get this free on the internet, but that's completely up to you. There's a lot of other good tools that are similar to Photoshop that you can go out there and get, and the steps for them are going to be very similar. So if you do have Photoshop, you can go into there and go to File, New. We're going to go 1280 by 720 because that's the standard for thumbnails in YouTube, and then you do transparent so there is no background. We'll title this How to Thumbnail. Alright, so this is actually going to probably be the thumbnail that we actually use. So you have a transparent background here. Then what you're going to want to do is go out to the internet and find a background. You should be able to type in, let's go for a red background. So this pulls this up, and then you just click on images. This is Bing, you can use Google, whatever. So there's all sorts of images on here, and we'll just find something that's kind of cool that we want to use. So then we're going to save this image, save picture as, and it's going to go into the pictures on the PC. Then we go back into Photoshop, we go File, Open, we'll go out to Pictures, we get this red background. You then just click on the little icon, the little pointer up here, you left click, and then you can drag, put it over top this, and then you get this. So one thing that I do, in Photoshop, you click Control T, and it's going to give these little edges around here, and you can scale. So if you get an image that's smaller, you can stretch it out, but realize that it gets pixelated the more you actually stretch it out. When you have large images and you scale them down, is not as bad as if you scale them up. Alright, so we've got that. We're going to open my border, which I have. Right in one of these fancy folders. I have a PSD file. This was just a raw Photoshop file if you don't know. Logo template. So I can, if I didn't have one built already, I would grab that, but I do have the template built. And then we just scale that to perfection. And we have our basic background in there. We have our border laid in. And you hit enter so it finalizes it. If you don't know, to the side, these are different layers. So I can take whatever is on it. It's like from top down. So whatever's on top, you see over everything else. So I want to see the border over everything, and layer 1, which is nothing. So you can move that to wherever. Alright, so we're going to want to put some wording on this. So you go over here, you click this little T, you click in here, anywhere, and then you type how, and it's not showing. You click Control A, highlights everything. It's not showing because we have red on top of red. So we'll just do green for now so it shows up. And it's not showing. Oh, because the layer is behind it. So you bring the layer to the front. That's why it's not showing. So how and then you click back, and then you can move this around anywhere. So how to, and I like to do my separate words because depending, if you put it all in one sentence, you have to scale it and do it as one sentence, where if I do it this way, I can move these around and put them where I want. If I wanted to scale it or have it step down this way, I can do that. How to create epic, whoops, thumbnails. Alright, so now it completely looks like a crazy mess. So we can go over here and remember, if you look over to the right here, it tells you what words you're grabbing. So we want to move the 2, so we select the 2, and we can move this. And you can use these little cues to see how close you are. How to create epic thumbnails. Alright. So, and then I'm going to throw my border on top because the T is a little over top of the logo. That looks pretty good. We should probably, oops. And then if you move something and you don't like that where you moved it, you just hit Control Z, just like in any other word processor. Then it just puts it back to where it was. Control Z, how to create epic thumbnails. Alright, so the other thing is, how do people get shades? How do they do like the blending or the shadows or anything like that? So if you click on the word, you right click it, it gives you this list of options. You go up to blending options, and then it gives you this little panel here. This little panel lets you do whatever you want to it. So you might see stroke in a lot of mine, which is just this border. If you click on it, it lets you scale the size of that. Mine's usually at like a 1. If you want to make it bigger, you can do that. We'll do 4 for this one, so it kind of stands out. This one makes your letters 3D. So then you've got the inner shadow, inner glow, so you can make a glowing deal. Stain, color overlay, gradient overlay you'll see in a lot of things. So it gives you a slider, and based on this slider, depends on how gradient you want it, and it gives you all these different options. So our current color is green, so it goes from a light green to a dark green, and then there's a bunch of different options in there that you can mess around with. Alright, pattern overlay if you want to throw in patterns. Then there's the outer glow, and you'll see a lot of people do the drop shadows. It gives a little bit, and you can make it bigger or as small as you want. And then you click OK, or you click out of it, and it takes it away. So that's basically how you do that. The last thing you do is when you go click File, Save As, and then you want to save it as a PNG or a JPEG. I usually do a JPEG. Obviously, you see then all these pop up. How to do a thumbnail? JPEG. Save, it's saved. You can import it into YouTube. Super, super easy. I hope you guys like this really quick tutorial. If you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, please hit me up in those comments below and I'll answer your questions as they come through. Otherwise, hit that thumbs up, and like always, I'll catch you guys on the next video.